WHP radio. That's WHP in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. They're 580 on the dial, 5,000. And so I imagine they're heard throughout that whole sort of area of Pennsylvania. Big regional station. As a matter of fact, I remember WHP when I lived back east. So I know they've got a big signal. Glad to be on board. This is a weird show. It's going to take you time to understand it. I still don't fully understand it myself. Next hour, we are going to have, I'm not exactly sure what. I'll tell you, I will tell you what I was told earlier today. And I don't know any more than this. We'll find out together. The man's name is Isyong Sam. He is a Nigerian. As a matter of fact, he is from a lost Nigerian tribe. But it goes a little further than that. This man seems rational. And his English is quite passable. And what he has told me is that God is now alive on earth. He told me that God is in this lost Nigerian tribe that he is from. He told me that Israel has sent a delegation to this tribe and that nobody knows about this except for you tonight. Now, I don't know anything more about this, I'm telling you, than that, but that's quite enough. And so in the next hour, we'll talk to Isyong Sam and see what this is all about. Now, before I go on and even start with what the news is and that kind of thing, there is a photograph that somebody just sent me just prior to airtime evening. In no way, you've got to understand, in no way do I warranty this to be real, nor do I consider it to be fake. It looks real. It is, I guess it's a human being. I'm honestly not sure. It might be a human being. I hesitated before I decided to post it, not very long though. You know me. I'll pretty much go ahead and put up whatever anybody sends me that seems really intriguing. I have no, I guess we're going to just call it another who, what, where, and why photograph. And that's exactly what it's called. So if you'll go to my website, you will see something that will, it'll blow your mind. It absolutely is going to blow your mind. You'll see a picture of what appears to be human feet. You click on that and you get the entire picture, the entire photograph. And I'm just telling you right now, brace yourself. Brace yourself for I don't know what. But what do you mean when I tell you brace yourself? My God, it's when a few of you have seen it, and I'll open a line for those who have seen the photograph, because I'm telling you right now, it's either somebody's photographic fake, but it may not be. And I guess I don't want to discuss the specifics of it until I get somebody here on the line who's seen it. My God. That's what you're going to say when you see this photograph. You're going to go, my God. So go to my website. Trust me on this one. And when you get there, just go click on the first item, the who, what, where, when thing. It's a very, very disturbing, really disturbing picture. That's all I can tell you. All right, let's see. What is in the Standard everyday news. U.S. Appeals Court refusing to block efforts to obtain the testimony of White House lawyer Bruce Lindsay. Clinton administration's emergency request for an order to block the testimony sent right away to Chief Justice Rehnquist. Rehnquist not expected to act tonight. If the court agrees to hear the appeal when it returns to session in October, it could delay independent counsel Starr from questioning Lindsay. So that just continues to chug along. I've got all kinds of rumors. They're running wild about the president. And I've got a number here that I don't want to read you. But I'll tell you this. For those of you who listened last night and heard the repeat of Sean David Morton, I'm telling you, Sean Morton has hit more predictions on the head. I got this email today. Art, the last time Sean David Morton was on Coast to Coast, the program, in fact, was repeated last night. He predicted that Clinton's ultimate fall from grace would begin on August 17th. Now, guess when Clinton is scheduled to testify before the grand jury? You guessed it, August 17th. Looks like Sean may have nailed it again. That's Gary in Las Vegas. That's nailing it, all right. Indeed, the president, it was just announced, is to testify before the grand jury August 17th. That's what I would call a hit. How about you? U.S.-Iraq talks halt. Disturbing. State Department today blamed Iraq for the disturbing, in quotes, breakdown of talks with the UN over Baghdad's weapons. Gee, and I thought they had that all cleared up. According to the chief inspector, a disappointing slide in recent days. That Iraq might disclose fully its weapons program now. They think they're cheating again. No, those cheating Iraqis. Speaking of Africa, military forces in the eastern Congo declared themselves in open rebellion today against the president there after Rwandan mercenaries clashed with soldiers loyal. So anyway, fighting goes on. I think, and I'm not sure yet, but I think that I'm going to Africa in October. But I think I'm going to go to Cape Town in South Africa. I really did want to go into Zaire. As a matter of fact, I really wanted to go to Nigeria. But there's just too much war going on, and it's too damn dangerous. And I'm sorry, so I may end up going to Cape Town, or maybe I won't go at all. I don't know. Another white buffalo has been born. A white buffalo, a genetic rarity and powerful American Indian spiritual symbol, has been born in Hanover. The female calf weighs about 40 pounds, appears to be healthy, and is not albino, according to the Jackson Citizen Patriot. Scientists have no idea how a rare white buffalo is created and when, but estimates range from 1 in a million to 1 in 40 million. Now, the Lakotas consider the white buffalo to be good medicine. And it means something. And we have had now how many white buffalo in the last, I would say, 2 or 3 years? A sign of something? Now, brace yourself for what you're about to hear. I read you the following from Fox News. In Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, a scientist dabbed among the unhallowed dumps of the grave to piece together his creature. Now, surgeons in Louisville, Kentucky, are embarking on an experiment that may seem morbid, very morbid, but which holds significant promise for restoring limb sensation, movement, and usefulness to amputees. University of Louisville surgeons at Jewish Hospital estimate that in about 6 months, they're going to perform, get this folks, the first hand transplant, attaching a hand taken from the body of a brain-dead donor, attaching it to the arm of an amputee. The doctors are estimating at least a 50% chance that the new hand won't be rejected. Repeat, will not be. And they expect the patient to have nearly full movement in the new limb within 4 to 5 weeks after surgery. Sensation would then develop in later months as nerves slowly regenerate. They have narrowed their search for the first candidate from a pool of about 100 people down to 10 and hope to select a patient in the next 2 months. Quote, an ideal candidate would be an adult who has lost both hands and who feels they can no longer proceed with their profession or take care of their family. Although attaching a cadaver's hand to a living person may seem like a radical concept, doctors claim the actual surgery is not all that new. According to a Dr. Warren Breedback, I think it is, who's going to lead the operation, nearly every part of the hand, arteries, bone, muscle, cartilage, nerves, and tendons, has been before. The only difference is they're going to transplant an entire limb. Can you imagine that? We can now transplant most internal organs. And if we can transplant a hand, then we can transplant a leg, or an arm, or a knee, or an ear. In other words, it seems to me we're getting pretty close here to being able to do just about anything. Remember Dr. Frankenstein? The only thing undone is the brain, and I'm told brain transplants are possible. You recall Dr. White. Dr. White on the program, he did a whole bunch of monkey brain transplants. We're approaching an interesting age, aren't we? Once it was thought if you lost an arm, or a finger, or a foot, or a leg, it was gone. Now, you might be able to live on with somebody else's limb. Oh, I tell you, we live in strange times.
Okay, so you've got Stream Link for full access to coasttocoastam.com. You've downloaded the Apple iPhone app to take it all with you on the go, and you get the daily Coast Zone email newsletter delivered right to your inbox. But aren't you forgetting something? Yes, you are. It's the one and only After Dark magazine. Coast to Coast AM puts out a monthly 4-color magazine that readers have for more than 15 years. And each month you can read very
George Snorri
interviews, which covers areas that you don't hear on the air, articles from guests which are not on the internet, and relevant news stories that don't always get covered by the mainstream. Subscribe now and cover all of your Coast to Coast AM media bases. Call our new number at 1-888-261-6392. That's 1-888-261-6392. It's $39.95 for 12 monthly issues. You can also subscribe online at coasttocoastam.com. That's www.coasttocoastam.com.
You never know what you'll hear on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
there is terrorism out there. So in an effort to try to fight it or combat it, we give up these rights. I'm convinced that there are groups out there, sinister, powerful, that would create this terror to continue to control us.
I think you're absolutely correct. But of course, anybody that's followed the process of government throughout history, once the government has been given a certain amount of power, it always seeks more. And to suggest that our government is different because it's America, I guess that just shows how historically ignorant the American people have become. Because in a real sense, these things are our fault. Americans are, in fact, now trading liberty for security. Every day, this is going to happen now in our future, that we're going to allow it. It's just a matter of time.
Now, we take you back to the night of August 3rd, 1998, on Art Bell, Somewhere in Time.
Well, I would not have believed it had I not seen it. It looks like there's going to be a medical marijuana proposal on the ballot here in Nevada. Now, you bear in mind that Nevada is a place where possession of marijuana is a felony. It's one of the toughest states in the union in that regard. But somehow, some way, they got it on. And you have to have, I think, minimum requirement of 46,764 signatures. And it's like they didn't have it and then they had it. So the late news I have is that the medical marijuana initiative is on the Nevada ballot. Now that should be really, really interesting. And while I'm on the subject of Nevada politics, something I never talk about. I don't think I ever talk about politics. Not much less drunk politics. But let me set this up for you. I live in a little town about 65 miles west of Las Vegas. Las Vegas, at one time, was run very strictly. When Sheriff Moran was there, it was run very strictly. You didn't see gangs. You didn't see people getting in trouble on the street. You didn't see a lot of things. And that's because the sheriff was, he was a sheriff. And he was fair, but he was very strict. Now, flash out to where I live here in Little Brook, Nevada. We have a sheriff's race going on right now. And our current sheriff, let's see, how can I put it? His name is Wade Leeski. And he's fair, and he's strict, very strict. Now, in the race that's going on out here, they're calling him a Nazi. And let me put it to you this way. I don't want to see this guy out of office. I want to see Leeski reelected. And the reason I want to see it is because I don't want to see my little town of Pahrump turn into Las Vegas. Las Vegas was once a place where you could walk safely about the streets without worry over your life. And I don't want to see our dear town of Pahrump turned into a clone of Las Vegas, which is a clone of Los Angeles, and I don't want to see the gangs. And I don't want to see a bunch of little 16-year-old thugs treated with kid gloves because they're not kids. You know, if a 90-year-old lady gets beat up, she sure as hell doesn't care that he's 16. In other words, I don't want to see a liberal, and I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. So I hope Sheriff Leeski remains right in office, and I intend to vote for him, keep him there. And keep Pahrump, a very nice place that we intended for it to be when we moved out here to get away from all the other stuff. So Mark Bell, hey, Wade Leesky, go, re-elect Sheriff Wade Leesky. Totally unsolicited. That's my comment from here in Pahrump, because I'd like it to stay the place it was when I moved here. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time on Premier Radio Networks. Tonight, an encore presentation of Coast to Coast AM from August 3rd, 1998.
Just to clarify, actually, in my opinion, when Las Vegas began to go to hell, it was when actually Sheriff Moran took over from Sheriff Lamb. Lamb kept things in line. Moran kind of came in with the more liberal. It's a fine line, I've worked with the police for a long time, and it's a very fine line they all walk indeed. And it's not black and white. There are gray areas of law enforcement. And frankly, I think that I don't want to see my community move over to the white line, where everything is liberalized and where the justice scales are tipped in favor of the bad guys. You follow me? I'm very concerned about that in my own little community, and you ought to be in yours too. And how the sheriff conducts himself has a lot to do with that. And Sheriff Leesky here has helped our town a good place to live in. And, we're growing. I mean, actually, did you know that Pahrump, the town I live in, is the fastest growing by percentage community in the state of Nevada, which happens to be the fastest growing state in the whole country. So that really makes us growing fast. And I think the temptation, once you begin to grow fast and get bigger, is to liberalize, particularly in law enforcement, and people come along and start calling you Nazi and all the rest of it. And I'm totally uninterested in that kind of mudslinging. And so I want to keep our current sheriff. I really want to keep our current sheriff. That's my personal opinion, because it has to do with my personal place to live. And in fact, if you look around Las Vegas was simply a very good example of a city that once was run fairly, but tough. I admit it, tough. They didn't put up with any crack gangbangers. They were shown the door. And I have no problem with that kind of law enforcement. And now, of course, you don't want what the critics say either. You don't want a Nazi-like thing. Of course you don't want that. That isn't what we have. That's simply what's being bannered about with election rhetoric. people who would like the job. So I don't want it to change here. And if it does change here, I'm going to be an unhappy camper. So I hope that Sheriff Leesky remains right where he is, doing exactly what he's doing.
Okay, so you've got Streamlink, our Apple iPhone app, the Daily Coast Zone free email newsletter, but don't forget the After Dark magazine. Every month you can read editorials from me, George Norrie, interviews you don't hear on the air, articles on the internet, and news stories not covered by the mainstream. Simply subscribe now and cover all of your coast-to-coast AM bases. Call 1-888-261-6392. 1-888-261-6392, or subscribe online at coasttocoastam.com.
Streamlink, the audio subscription service of Coast to Coast AM, has a new name, Coast Insider. You'll still get all the same great features for the same low price, just 15 cents a day when you sign up for 1 year. The package includes podcasting, which offers the convenience of having shows downloaded automatically to your computer or MP3 player, and the iPhone app with live and on-demand programs. You'll also get our amazing download library of 3 full years of shows. Just think. As a new subscriber, over 1,000 shows will be available for you to collect, enjoy, and listen to at your leisure. Plus, you'll get streamed and on-demand broadcasts of Art Bell's Somewhere in Time shows and 2 weekly classics. And as a member, you'll have access to our monthly live chat sessions with George Norrie and special guests. If you're a fan of Coast, you won't want to be without Coast Insider. Visit coasttocoastam.com to sign up today. Here's what you missed on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
Now we look at sending humans to an asteroid. Smart idea?
I would love to see that happen. A mission to an asteroid is exactly the kind of thing that our nation's space program ought to be focused on. Really pushing the envelope and really showing us what's feasible and possible to do. What better target than leaving the Earth-Moon system behind completely and venturing off to a new little world that we've never been to before and getting ready for that long mission to Mars.
Now we take you back to the night of August 3rd, 1998, on Art Bell's Somewhere in Time.
This is interesting. Toronto, in Canada. Apparently there they have staged a mock trial with regard to what occurred to the Titanic. Check this out, folks. Associated Press. If the Titanic went down today, what a gargantuan lawsuit there would be. Women and children first, indeed. That alone could trigger wrongful death suits based on sex discrimination claims. Can you imagine that? Isn't that absolutely correct? If the Titanic today and the crew try to insist that women and children go first, there would be wrongful death suits, so many you couldn't count them, from the men or families of the men, charging sex discrimination. If the Titanic went down today, do you think it would be women and children first? How times change. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. This is Rick out of Washington.
Hi, Rick.
Rick KOMO. I just wanted to call and ask if you found out about Mount St. Helens today, raising a cloud of ashes from 90,000 feet in the air.
Oh, nobody sent me anything about that.
Yeah, the news reports are saying that it's possibly a rock fall, but then again, you never know.
A rock fall that kicks something up 9,000 feet?
Yep, that's what I thought. Do they be having the earthquakes there? You just begin to wonder.
A rock fall?
Gigantic rock.
I don't think that I'd buy it.
Nope.
I suppose if it was like a landslide, a gigantic landslide, then
That's what you're saying.
no. Yeah, but I've also been getting an awful lot of reports saying that there's been a lot of small quake activity under St. Helens.
Yes, 2.0 and below.
You know, that the
We're
story.
in the hundreds and hundreds of them.
That's right. Very interesting. Thank you very, very much for that report. A rock fall, huh? Yeah, maybe. Here I've got in front of me the plans of the Social Security system for Y2K. I'll try and read that to you. On the line, you're on the air. Hi.
Hey, I heard Jason from.
Jason, hi.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. Glad to hear from you.
Good. Hey, the Sheriff Leslie thing.
Right.
No, I'm all for it.
Do you understand? I'm so glad you called, Jason. Do you understand what I mean? Since you live here in Pahrump, we can look over the hill and see what happened after Lamb with Moran and how Las Vegas changed. And now it's gangbangers paradise, you know, might as well be in LA, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm watching the election here in Pahrump. And I'm seeing people call our sheriff a Nazi, and it really pisses me off.
Yeah, no, he's not Art. He's
I know that. I know that. And I want him to keep doing his job, and I don't want people making these kinds of charges to be able to poison just plain old law enforcement.
right. He's hard-nosed. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing, yeah. I don't want to live in a place where I'm afraid to walk around. You?
No, Art.
That's why I moved here. How about you?
Hey, I came from a place in California. When I decided to leave here, it was so bad. After the second guy got killed on my street corner.
I hear you.
Yeah.
No, I have reason to know about the goodness of this man, and I just couldn't keep my mouth shut about it.
Well, you know what, Art? That's what you're here for.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm here for.
You're doing a good job.
Thanks for the call, Jason.
But you know what, Art? I'm going to tell you. I'm sitting here looking out at my AMT Model 2.
Ooh, you are.
I'm loving it.
You've got it. What?
We're there at 51.
And what are you seeing?
Actually, I'm not seeing nothing. I was actually thinking a week ago, I haven't seen nothing since you said something.
That would have killed me because I'm not aiming at Area 51 right now.
Uh-huh.
You know, obviously, if you look at more of a straight up point, you've got less atmosphere between you and the stars,
Right.
and you see a whole lot more. But isn't it amazing?
You know what? I would recommend it to anybody.
Yeah.
That is something really neat, Art.
Even in areas where they don't see a lot of stars,
Uh-huh.
the night vision will pick out the light, no problem.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, my friend, thank you. That's Jason here in Pro. Thanks for the call, Jason. And I see we agree. West of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi. Whoops, now you are. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, Art.
Hi, where are you, sir?
I'm in KVEN land.
Ventura.
Yes. And last week, for the first time in my life, I got to hear Dr. Lear speak in person. And it was fascinating, but something was really scary. He
What?
explained that,
Now, Dr. Lear is a surgeon who removes implants.
right, and one thing in my mind was, how do they know they're alien implants? But he explained they're attached to nerves. They have like a seemingly electronic parts. They have a shell around them that,
Which is, cannot be penetrated by a scalpel.
right.
Oh, yeah.
But something else fascinating happened at the meeting. I raised my hand and I said, he was talking about little scoop marks on the leg.
Oh, yes.
And it's a certain fleshy feeling. You can see a certain coloration under a black light of the skin, and they're unmistakable. So I raised my hand and showed one to him, and he goes, "That's it." And he
Well,
asked me
let me tell you something I've never told anybody before. This means nothing. I have no memory. As far as I know, I have never been abducted. But I do have a scoop mark on my leg.
You know what's funny? I came back to the store, showed it to my buddy, and he has one. And not only that, you know, it's even a little weirder. I have 50 scars on my body. I can tell you every scar where it came from. That's
Yeah.
the only one I do not have a clue.
Yeah. I appreciate your call, and I appreciate your triggering by saying that. And I've never said it publicly before, because people, of course, are going to jump to all kinds of conclusions. But I have a scoop mark. It's not a scarf. It's just like somebody took a little scoop and scooped out a little bit of skin. And the skin is perfectly smooth. Now, what that means, it may mean nothing. It may mean that people have scoop marks. I don't know. But I do have a scoop mark. It's a definite scoop mark. And I have no memory of anything ever occurring. I'm pretty sure that I've never been abducted, of course. My memory might be erased. But I do have a scoop mark, and I've never said that publicly before. First time caller line, you're on the air. Hello.
Oh, good morning, Art.
Good morning to you. Where are you?
I'm in Southeast Idaho.
All right.
Listening to KBNU. I should be in my conversation tonight.
All right.
I had a little thought. Maybe we should gather our collective amygdala and point them towards northern Texas.
I agree with you. In fact, here, let me read this to you, and then we'll all try it. Okay, well, let's give it a try. Experiment number 2. Hi, Art. I've heard that you asked your listeners to visualize rain for Florida while the wildfires were going on. And then within the hour, the weather changed. It's true. Later, the rain began. Here in Texas, we've been having 100-degree plus weather for over 2 months now. This may have to do with the earth changes, but the fact of the matter is, 95 people have died statewide due to the extreme heat we're experiencing. Would you consider making an announcement similar to the one you did for the state of Florida for the relief we need here in Texas? There are thousands of people and animals who would be most grateful for some heavy rainfall, not to mention the grass, trees, and plants. Don't worry about mudslides here in Texas. We don't have any mountains. So there you are. Let's do it.
I think it's a great idea. I've been thinking about this for a while, and if any place needs it, northern Texas could use it right now.
All right, you got it, my friend. Thank you. All right, folks, let's give it a try. Now, as you know, we had a guest who talked to us about clicking forward our, what does he call it? The frontal lobe, anyway. It's virtually popping your frontal lobes. And then concentrating on rain, concentrating on the formation of moisture and clouds above the state of Texas. Now, the last time we tried the experiment, we asked you to face toward the target area. So wherever you are, face toward Texas. In a few moments, if you would mind, concentrating on the formation of moisture above Texas. And let's see if we can bring some rain to the state of Texas. God knows they do need it. So, if you would please, help us participate now in great experiment number 2. They've really had it down in Texas. And if you're in Texas, concentrate on the area above you. Let's see if we can bring rain to Texas. I am not at all beyond believing that a collective mental effort is in fact capable of changing the weather. I'm a little cautious about tampering in this area because I feel that probably moisture taken from one place to give to another may have its own kind of ill effects. But let's see if it can be done. We've got a large enough audience out there, all of you, and if you will just take a quiet moment of contemplation. You can do it now, you can do it during the news, you can do it tomorrow, and concentrate as hard as you can on the formation of clouds, of the collection of moisture, the formation of clouds above Texas. Specifically, if you wish, northern Texas. The Dallas area could sure use some rain. So, anybody willing to give it a try out there, despite the fact that I think there's a high dominating over that area? let us try. They really do need the rain. So, the Great Weather Experiment Part 2. Now, I don't know if I'm qualified to set it up, but I just did anyway. We'll try it. If it fails, it may be because I did not give you the proper instruction. But let us try. Concentrate as hard as you can, every opportunity you get, in the next 24 hours on Rain for Texas. Let's see what we can do. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. Hi.
Hey, Mr. Bell, this is Patrick from Tulsa. How are you?
I'm fine, Patrick.
Oh, man, I saw that picture of the who, what is it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, extremely interesting, very interesting.
What the hell is it?
I don't know. It looks like a really obese person, man.
Yeah, but all right, here's the thing. If that was an obese person, and that's the first thing I thought about, and that person fell from a building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the blood?
Yeah, I didn't see any of that either.
So, I'm not even fully convinced that's human.
It could not be. It could be one of our secret government experiments gone awry.
I don't know. You know, people send me these photographs. Maybe it's just a doctored up photograph, but I don't think so. I think it's real, but I just don't know what it is.
Could be, it's extremely interesting.
But isn't it one of those things that you look at and you go, oh my God, what's that?
It makes you scratch your head.
Yeah. And maybe some other places too.
Yeah.
Right. Well, listen, anything else? I've got to scoot here because I've got a break coming up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to live in Clearwater. I saw your pictures on there in the Bridge of Mariana building.
Yes.
I used to live right down the street from that.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was traffic was horrendous. The main thing that came about that was that that image was out there years before.
I know, but it got ruined, and then it came back all by itself. Remarkable. I'm Art Bell. This is Coast to Coast AM.
You're listening to Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight featuring a replay of Coast to Coast AM from August 3rd, 1998.
We'll be happy every day. My feelings good to you, good to me. There ain't nothing we can do, babe. Even good, feeling fine. Oh, baby, just me, babe. It's the music all the time. Like a lake falling river, running down in the sand. And the crowd is going.
Preview Radio Networks presents Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Tonight's program originally aired August 3rd, 1998.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another week of Coast to Coast AM. And again, we are welcoming a new affiliate, pretty cool one too, WHP AM in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, serving that whole area of Pennsylvania. This is a very strange show. You'll find that out soon enough. Listen, there is a photograph on my website right now, which is unlike any photograph I have ever seen in my whole life. The reactions, I can't describe it to you because, frankly, this thing can't be described. Someone here writes, "Hey Art, my interpretation is it's a melted Texan." By the way, we're trying to help the Texans out, and if it's possible with mind power, millions of minds working on the same thing, we're trying to create rain in Texas. Dallas, North Texas. And all it is a big rain experiment part 2. So I'm asking all of my audience to take just one moment out, kind of picture Texas in your mind, go into as much of a meditative state as you're able to, and try to picture rain, the gathering of clouds above Texas, and let's see what we can do. It worked in Florida, maybe it'll work in Texas. Anyway, there's a big old high over the area, so let's try it. Let's give it a try. Over the next 24 hours, all of you collectively, when you get an extra moment, consider rain and clouds over Texas. Okay? Again, another reaction to picture up on the website. I mean, I got this in like 5 minutes before airtime, and I shipped it to Keith, who got it up there right away. Keith Rowland, my esteemed webmaster. Here's another reaction. Mark. Oh my Lord! I just left your website. By God, is this photo real? Because I have no idea. It's bizarre, but it sure looks real. I recommend everybody go check it out. Somebody else asking Mark a few questions. He says, regarding the picture I just saw, whoa! Can you tell us any more about the origins of the picture? Well, the guy who sent it has an email address. You can email her and ask him. A few questions we should ask. 1, is it human? 2, is it the remnants of a human? 3, is something devouring a human? And frankly, I don't know, but if you want to get a look at that photograph, go to my website and take www.artbell.com. www.artbell.com. It is bizarre, and I suppose it's right. All right, in a moment. Well, in a moment, I'll explain to you what's about to happen.
Okay, so you've got a stream link for full access to coasttocoastam.com. You've downloaded the app live. His name, I think I can pronounce it, is Isyong Sam. Isyong is his first name. Sam, his last name, S-A-M. He is in fact Nigerian, and I'll tell you what he told me. He told me he comes from a lost tribe in Nigeria, and we'll have to define what a lost tribe is. Nigeria, as you know, is locked in a terrible, destructive civil war right now. But Isyong Sam says that God is now on earth. God is on earth, and God is a member of this tribe. He also told me that the Israelis
sent a delegation to Africa, to his tribe, to Nigeria. And that's all I knew. And I thought, this is interesting. So I said, stop. I want to hear the rest of it on the air. I don't like the interviewing past a certain point. I want to hear a little bit of what somebody has to say. Past that point, I want to discover things as you do. So that's all I know. Here he is. Isiong said, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Aaron.
Look, one step at a time, I guess. You are Nigerian.
Yeah.
You said you're from a lost tribe.
Yeah, I'm from the lost tribe. The Israelites, when they arrived Canaan.
Yes?
I'm going to speak slowly so that your listeners can
Thank you.
hear me very well because of my dialect. When my ancestors left Egypt and through the journey in the wilderness, they finally arrived Canaan, and some tribes were eventually lost through history, and this has been known to us in Nigeria that we are the lost, one of the, in fact, in the area I'm trying to describe to you, the Calabar. I don't know if you're familiar very well with Calabar.
No, I am not. The Calabar? Is that correct? Calabar?
Calabar is a city right by the coast in eastern Nigeria.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and bring myself up a map here so I can take a look. And maybe I can, let's see, where is my world map? Anyway, so you've been in this tribe for all your life?
I've been with them, with them all my life. And we've been here in eastern Nigeria for a period of time, from 900 BC, when we left Canaan. And,
okay, I see now eastern Nigeria.
yeah.
And to the south of you would be Cameroon.
Yes, that's Cameroon.
To the east of you would be Chad. So you say your village would be down near the Cameroon border.
Yes, that's close to the Cameroon border.
Okay, I think I've got you here. How close to the very southern tip of Nigeria? How far from the ocean?
Oh, it's right by the ocean.
Right by the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, then I have you pinpointed. I see where you are. And when you say lost tribe, when was your tribe discovered by the modern world?
We've been there from generations. See, nobody had wanted to listen.
That the Israelis sent a delegation to Africa, to his tribe, to Nigeria. And that's all I knew. And I thought, this is interesting. So I said, stop. I want to hear the rest of it on the air. I don't like pre-interviewing past a certain point. I want to hear a little bit of what somebody has to say. But past that point, I want to discover things as you do. So that's all I know. Here he is. Isiong said, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Aaron.
Look, one step at a time, I guess. You are Nigerian.
Yeah.
You said you're from a lost tribe.
Yeah, I'm from the lost tribe. The Israelites, when they arrived Canaan.
Yes?
I'm going to speak slowly so that your listeners can
Thank you.
hear me very well because of my dialect. When my ancestors left Egypt and through the journey in the wilderness, they finally arrived Canaan, and some tribes were eventually lost through history. And this has been known to us in Nigeria that we are the lost, one of the, in fact, in the area I'm trying to describe to you, the Calabar. I don't know if you're familiar very well with
No, I am not. The Calabar, is that correct? Calabar?
Calabar is a city right by the coast in eastern Nigeria.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and bring myself up a map here so I can take a look. And maybe I can, let's see, where is my world map? Anyway, so you've been in this tribe for all your life?
Yeah, I've been with them all my life, and we've been here in eastern Nigeria for a very long period of time, from 900 BC, when we left Canaan. And,
okay, I see now eastern Nigeria.
yeah,
And to the south of you would be Cameroon now.
yes, very close to Cameroon.
To the east of you would be Chad. So you say your village would be down near the Cameroon border.
Yes, very close to the Cameroon border.
Okay, I think I've got you here. How close to the very southern tip of Nigeria? How far from the ocean?
Oh, it's right by the ocean.
Right by the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, then I have you pinpointed. I see where you are. And when you say lost tribe, when was your tribe discovered by the modern world?
We've been there from generations.
The Israelis sent a delegation to Africa, to his tribe, to Nigeria. And that's all I knew. And I thought, this is interesting. So I said, stop. I want to hear the rest of it on the air. I don't like pre-interviewing past a certain point. I want to hear a little bit of what somebody has to say. But past that point, I want to discover things as you do. So that's all I know. Here he is. Xiong said, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Harry.
One step at a time, I guess. You are Nigerian.
Yeah.
You said you're from a lost tribe.
Yeah, I'm from the lost tribe. You know, the Israelites, when they arrived at Canaan.
Yes.
I'm going to speak slowly so that your listeners can
Thank you.
hear me very well because of my dialect. When my ancestors left Egypt and through the journey in the wilderness, they finally arrived Canaan, and some tribes were eventually lost through history, and this has been known to us in Nigeria, that we are the lost, one of the, in fact, in the area I'm trying to describe to you, the Calabar. I don't know if you're familiar very well with Calabar.
No, I am not. The Calabar, is that correct? Calabar?
Calabar is a city right by the coast in eastern Nigeria.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and bring myself up a map here so I can take a look. And maybe I can, let's see, where's my world map? Anyway, so you have been in this tribe for all your life?
Yeah, I've been with them all my life, and we've been here in eastern Nigeria for a very long period of time, from 900 BC, when we left Canaan. And,
okay, I see now eastern Nigeria.
yeah.
To the south of you would be Cameroon now.
Yes, that's close to Cameroon.
To the east of you would be Chad. So you say your village would be down near the Cameroon border.
Yes, very close to the Cameroon border.
Okay, I think I've got you here. How close to the very southern tip of Nigeria? How far from the ocean?
Oh, it's right by the ocean.
Right by the ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, then I have you pinpointed. I see where you are. And when you say lost tribe, when was your tribe discovered by the modern world?
We've been there from generations. See, nobody had wanted to listen. When the early missionaries came to Nigeria,
Yes.
we actually told them who we are, and they could see some of us. But they wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen. They were much interested in the resources instead of the people. We've been there for generations.
But everybody who came was more interested in the resources.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
That's it.
You said God is alive on now.
Oh yes. This time, I'm so glad I got a hold of you, and I hope the whole world is listening.
Well, a good part of it is.
God, the creator of heaven and earth, and everything we see in heaven and on earth and the world beyond is now on earth.
How long has he been here?
He's been on earth since 1918.
Since 1918.
It's been revealed to certain wise men or so, because before he manifested, he actually was born in Nigeria. He really didn't time to die. At this time of his advent in the world is coming to be with mankind forever.
What does God look like?
It's just like he looks, he's a human being.
Yes.
Just like the first time Christ came to the world, he was a Jew.
Well, I guess when I'm asking this, what I mean is, does he look like an 80-year-old man?
Not much. No.
So he does not look like he's aging to 80?
No.
No.
The thing is believing. I hope one day you will go make a trip to Calabar and, and see what I'm just telling you.
I would love to travel to your country. I had plans to travel to your country, but I was told it is just too dangerous right now.
Nothing is going to happen in Nigeria. We had a civil war some years ago. There's not going to be any fight.
No fighting.
Yeah, what did you see in Nigeria is just police action. And the Holy Spirit is trying to take control over Nigeria. The physical Nigeria is dead. What you see is going on now because Nigeria used to be a place we could live, enjoy life, and a kid grow up to be somebody, but everything fell into the bad hands. So they messed up the country. So it's about time the Holy Spirit, to take over the total control of that country. So not only Nigeria, the world I'm talking about.
Why do you believe this? It is a man, yes? Seems to be a human man.
Yes, just like the Christ came before.
Okay. Why do you believe him to be God?
I call Calabar today. This message I'm just telling you now and the whole listeners, wherever they're listening, this message comes from the throne of God. I'm not making up this story. I'm nobody. I'm nothing.
I'm asking you why you believe that this is God. Why do you believe it?
Because he is. And the time is up for the people to know. That's why he has sent this message to the whole world to know that he has arrived. He has arrived. I'm going to go into details because there's so much I wish we would have time to cover.
That's fine. No, we have time. But, Sion, I want to ask you why you believe it. Why do you believe it? What has he done to make you believe he is God?
He's